The conversation we have for today, the ruffle of the feathers, the split camps, should you work for free?
It's important to set boundaries. You got to also learn when it's time to say no.
All of my clients here can be pointed back to one or two free projects.
There's always 3 cues that I like to consider, right?
Hey everybody, welcome to Dynamic Range episode 5. We are full hand now. Thank you everybody for hopping in and joining us. This has been so much fun. And today we're going to talk about a very hot topic. We're going to ruffle some feathers. We're going to choose camps, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And as always, I am joined by one of my very best friends, Alfredo Briones, who is a creative master and has his hands in so many different things in life, in business. And man, I'm just so honored that he is here. He runs AB Films, where they do all types of client work, social media, high-end videos, weddings, all the above. And welcome, Alfredo, again to Dynamic Range.
Bro,
Awesome that you're here.
Flawless intro. I feel like I was not expecting that, but no, I'm feeling grateful today. I beat my alarm. Something always feels better about, waking up before that alarm. I went on a jog this morning, so I feel like my mind is clear. On top of that, my wife prayed for me. So, baby, if you're watching this, thank you for praying for this podcast because, I was struggling yesterday, but we're here. We're grateful, and I'm excited to talk to you, about, what you just talked about, should we work for free? But before we get there, I wanted to ask you, just talking about early mornings, because it is 6:30 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
What is the very first thing that you do, Steven, when you wake up? Like the very first thing, besides obviously like all groggy and.
Yeah, I roll over, my alarm's going off, and I hit snooze at least once.
You gotta hit it once.
Extra 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, man, get up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, make some coffee. And then what I recently started doing, you're going to love this, and all the husbands out there are going to love this. Hopefully there's some wives out there listening that can help their husbands out. But I started making coffee and bringing the coffee to Morgan while she's still in bed and writing a little sticky note every morning about, just something about the day, something about yesterday, something I love about her. And just a little, little something to help just let her know I'm thinking about her and I love her. So
that's awesome,
that's
bro.
what I do first thing.
That's inspiring.
Yes,
I feel like, for me, it kind of varies every day, but I'm a morning person. So by 9 a.m. by 9 p.m. I'm crashing out. So like in the morning, I'm super productive. I can get so much stuff done. But after 5, we're not the same. I can't watch a movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, snap. I feel that.
But I do think, something, at least for me, like the way my structure goes, right? It changes every time. I've learned that no matter how much you try to plan the next day, I'm a sticky note kind of guy. So like the day before, I'll create this. I have a sticky, I have to see it physically there you go. Okay, so we in the same page.
Got it.
If you're a sticky note type of person, comment below because I know we're not the only ones.
Yeah.
I think people
comment sticky down below.
Comment sticky down below. But no, I think, it varies, right? But the most important thing, whatever you do in that morning, I think truly has an effect throughout the entire day. And,
100%.
If you're not dwelling in his presence, if you're not, just sitting in the silence or even just going for a walk, whatever that looks like, I think, you have to set yourself up for that. But even then, like my wife is completely different than I am, right? We're so opposite. And I think that's what the beauty is about marriage. We just hit 9 years, by the way. But
come on, 9 years. That's awesome, dude. Congrats.
But what was I saying? So my wife,
morning routines. Yes, sir.
So like she's a 8 a.m. She likes the 8 a.m. That's her sweet spot. But she can work late nights if she needs to, and for me
Hmm.
it's not the same. You know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah,
find
anything after
your
10 p.m.
yeah
Yeah,
find your
anything for me
routine.
after 10 p.m. does not happen. It's not good. If I'm working past 10 p.m., it's goes downhill real quick.
I
So
learned
yeah,
that
find your
the hard way.
routine. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, one more thing about just kind of mornings that I learned in college is like, hey man, if I don't have that quiet time to read, to journal, to pray, like you said, just to really sit in the Lord's presence, it just won't. It just doesn't happen for me. I just get lost in the day, and things just get
Doom
messed up, and
scrolling,
it just doesn't
YouTube.
happen.
Yeah, no, I get it,
Yep.
but that's powerful. I think we
Yes,
should
sir.
strictly yeah, just find your routine. I think it doesn't have to be early morning. It's just whatever that
Hmm.
looks like for you. And if you can be productive, let me ask you another question because I think a lot of creatives, I
Yep.
have struggled with this for a long time. How many hours do you edit a day, or what do you consider a full Labor Day?
Ooh, Labor Day.
Labor
Labor Day's a
Day.
holiday, bro. Oh man, what do I consider a full Labor Day? Man, it just depends, honestly, and that's changing
Yeah.
every day for me. Every week it changes because the needs, like we talked about last episode, the needs of my family change. And so some days it's like, hey, I need to put in a good 12 to 14 hours, whether that's, getting up and doing this podcast super early, then going to a shoot and then working on an edit because I've got to get things done. And other days it's like, hey, I I just need to get this one thing done and it's going to take a couple hours and then I just really need to be with my family. So it really just depends. And I'm trying to get out of that mindset of like this 9 to 5, right? That everything's taking away from this 9 to 5. Everything's pulling from my objective to get something done and get something delivered. But that's something I'm working on right now. And it's
Dude,
been
it's a
4 years
struggle.
of that struggle. We had a little more structure when we first moved because I would take the kids to school like 30 minutes away, and my office is right across the street from the school. So I'd literally take them down to school, go to my office, work until they were done with school, come back, and then work until 5 o'clock when we'd eat dinner. It was very structured and routine like that, but that's just not the case anymore. So yeah, it just fluctuates. But what do you feel like is a full day for you?
Man, just like you said, I mean, it's a struggle every now and then, right? Like even today, there's my wife has to remind me, right? Like you did enough today. Like just be proud of yourself. You did what you could.
Oh man, that's so hard. Yeah.
And I'm constantly bound, because there's days where if you're not on site, right, you're not filming out there. You're here
Hmm.
editing throughout the entire day, but then you're in that battle of when you do go and film all day and then you come back and all the edits that are pending. you
Hmm.
know and that's why I think it's important to
Yep.
run a full team because you can't do this by yourself. You need to delegate, and that's something that I'm in that
Hmm.
season right now, just learning how to delegate, and I think I'm reaching a pretty good place, but it's a never ending struggle for me because when I committed to going full time, I didn't realize that I went from a 9 to 5 to a 9 to 9. And then I realized that wasn't even beneficial either because you have to rest, right? You have to clear your mind. And the
Hmm.
more I mean, you love it, right? I love it. And so you want to pour into this whole thing, but at the same time, you have to love it enough to step back, like we spoke about previous episode. But I think I'm all in all to say is, I'm learning how to give myself grace when
Hmm.
just because you did not export a video does not mean you did not deliver. No pun
Yeah.
intended.
That's so good. No, bro, that's so good because I'm so task oriented and so like externally motivated that if I don't check things off the list, I feel like I failed for the day.
Bro.
And that's something I'm working on. And I oftentimes will create a list in the morning right after I get out of the shower when I do a lot of thinking. And dude, it's a long list. And very rarely do I touch half of those items because I just get lost in it. I just forget. how long it takes to edit, and then I get an email from another client, and they need a quick revision. I have to open up that project and export and upload and email. So it's like all those little things that don't really take a lot of time, but just take my mind away from a current project, and then it takes me a while to get back into that flow state to edit again. And so it kind of compounds. So that's my struggle right now. But yeah, man, I want to hop into the conversation we have for today.
Bro,
The
I'm
ruffle the
excited.
feathers, the split camps.
Should
Should
you
we
work
work?
for free?
Should you work for free? Yes, sir. So, Fredo, initial thoughts, man. Should you work for free?
You want me to go first? Okay.
I want you batter up, lead off hitter. Let's go.
I think, for me the answer is yes and no. Let me dive a little bit more deeper, but
Can't
there's
be copping out like
always
that, bro.
there's always three cues that I like to consider, right? It's not in order, but I always ask myself this: can I afford it, right? Is that something that I can even afford because I have pending projects? Am I burnt out? Am I just doing this because some of the projects that I have that are paid, they're not paying too well, or they're not creatively as exciting? Am I, having to put myself into this or this free project considered just because, you want to kind of clear your mind, but you're just adding to yourself, right? And then I'm trying to keep my hands down here because I talk with my hands and they go all over the place. You know what I mean? But anyways, but also, the most important thing for me is being honest with the client or the person or myself, right? Like being truly honest, dissecting, like asking yourself, why do I want to do this for free? And I think there's a lot of power in doing it for free, but sometimes we do it for the wrong reasons. We either, I at least think like there's so much. I mean, if you're looking for actual growth, right? Like if you're considering trying to learn new things, trying to learn how to manage lighting, audio, and you've never been in that space and you don't want to risk it by, having a high end client, you don't know what you're doing. I would say yes. I think also if you're starting out, I would say yes as well. But if you're
Yep.
years, like myself, I'm full time into it in 8 years, but I've been doing this for a very long time. And I think something that I've always learned is I'll always want to do this for free because it allows my creative mind to be free. I love whether it's for someone or myself. I think you should always do something that's freeing because I think you can find something there, at least for me. But on the more strategic side, or if you're trying to, elevate your brand, I think, I've come to realize there is a lot of value in networking, right? And learning your community, going out to other businesses and trying to elevate their content because you see the potential. At least, there's a few people that I've worked with, even just now, that, man, their quality is there, but they just need that little lift, right? And maybe they don't believe it for themselves. And sometimes I do like to step in and try to pitch something. But man, I think I said a whole lot, but in a
Yep.
nutshell, or longer story, or long story longer, yes and no. If But I think I will always do it for free. What about you, Steven? What do you think?
Dude, it's such like I said, it's such a polarizing topic, especially in the creative fields, because so many times creatives get taken advantage of. Right? There's the term starving artist is a term for a reason because a lot of creatives, a lot of people who want to do something with their creativity for a job and for a living, oftentimes just get abused by other business owners, by other people, in the sense of they get taken advantage of with their time, with their talents, and it's not really perceived as value for their client for whatever reason. And so a a lot of business owners try to, again, take advantage of creatives and say, hey, we can get you exposure. We can get you this. We can get you that, but we don't have any budget for this, which is, it's fine. Like you said, I think starting out, for sure, absolutely. If you're not confident in your work, if you're not confident in your skills, if you just want to learn something new, if you want to be on set for the first time, if you want to try a new editing technique, if you want to try a new shooting technique, absolutely. Friends, family, it doesn't have to be an actual client, but you can try these things out for free. Working on personal projects, passion projects, huge, awesome. And then two, I think, so that's, if you're just starting out, yes, you should work for free, I believe. Two, I think you should work for free if you want to break into a new industry. So say you're only shooting weddings and you want to start shooting commercial projects. You want to start shooting construction projects or nonprofits or coffee shops or whatever niche you want to hop into, or fitness. I think it can be beneficial to work for free for one video, for one deliverable. Not to say you take on a full 5 minute long brand video for a new gym that's opening, or a gym that's been there for 35 years and they have tons of money. It's like, I'm not saying work for free for that, but you can come in and say, hey, what if I come in and do a quick 15-second reel? You spend an hour, 30 minutes to an hour shooting. You blow their minds with your skills, with your shots, with your editing, and also show them how this can add value to them, how that can improve their bottom line and give the business owner value. And then, yes, that could turn into a potential client, either that specific client you worked for, or you can use that in your portfolio to showcase other clients.
I have a prime example, even just for yesterday. This happened to me yesterday. I was at a shoot and I understood the situation, but so I went to go film for a brand, and there was another company there that was doing some job for the location. And I guess they saw my drone and they got excited. And I'm there to do it.
100%.
I'm there to do a job. And the guy was so nice, right? I actually gave him my business card because I genuinely wanted to help him. But that's the struggle of a people pleaser, right? Like, for example, he came up to me. He's like, "Oh, that's an awesome drone." He's like, "How much would you charge me if right now you could just fly your drone and I just pull in with my company vehicle?" He just wanted this one clip. Old me would have said, "Yeah, I'll do it right now. I'm already here." But there's a time and place for it, right? And as much as I wanted to do it, I'm there to do what I was paid to do. Now, being honest with yourself, I also had somewhere to be right after that because I had another shoot. And so do what you can. If I would have, I could have done it. And I wanted to. I told Britzy, but I struggle so much with saying no. But as soon as I said no, I felt so good because we still managed to build that rapport. And now, I did build that connection with him. And we are going to book something in the future. But I rather really pour my time into him when I'm fully present with him. And so let me give you another example. Tonight, I actually am filming. Well, I'm not filming, but a friend of mine, shout out to Jorge, filmmaker.
Jorge.
Yeah, he's filming a short film. I think it's very short, but he just wants to do something so uncomfortable that he's never done. And I'm excited for him. But here's another prime example about working for free. Came out of my way and I reached out to him. Hey, bro, whatever you need, I'm here. I'm not asking for anything. If you need me to hold a light, I'm here to help you. And I think there's power in even just that side of community, especially with someone like Jorge. He's an amazing guy. But like, I think being honest right up front, right? I called Jorge and he was talking to me about this project, and I asked myself, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to help him, right? I always have to.
Yeah.
I think there's the secret to success, or one of the secrets, is being self-aware, trying to really like gather your thoughts. And all in all to say is, I told Jorge, this is how much I can do, and I have to leave from this time. So like, don't be upset if you committed to something and there was
Mm-hmm.
no, you know what I mean? You were talking
Yeah.
about this. I want you to, because you executed
Yeah.
that flawlessly.
Yeah, it's like the thing that working for free that like you mentioned, you don't make sure you have the time for it and the availability, right? Because a lot of times we take on free projects and they kind of take a back seat to the paid projects, even though you want to get to the free one. It's like, well, you have paid clients coming through the door. It's like it's hard to prioritize the free project. And the thing that I find sometimes is like sometimes this is like full transparency. Sometimes the free projects don't get the best version of me because again, it's like I've got all these other things backed up that I need to get done that are for paid clients, and I'm just like, all right, I got to get to this free one. I got to get to this free project. I gave them my word. They gave me a deadline, and I've got to get this done. So so sometimes that the free projects just don't get the best out of me simply because of that, like the subconscious pressure of like, okay, well, they didn't pay, so I'll get to it when I can get to it. And so I think a lot of times that, and especially in the past, what I've felt is like, well, they're not paying, so I kind of resent this project. And that goes with discounted rates as well. Those who say, okay, what's your day rate? And you say your day rate, and like, oh, I can't do that. Can you do this? And you're like, sure. And then a lot of times in those situations, I find myself like almost resenting those projects. And I had to check myself, right? Because I'll just speak from personal experience. Like, I agreed to the project, I agreed to the price, and I cannot get upset if I agreed to certain terms and conditions, right? Jesus talks about this in a parable where he's going to hire out, where there's a tenant farmer hiring out laborers for the day, right? It's a parable, so it's a story. It's an allegory, but he goes to the city square and he's like, all right, who wants to work? Come work for me for a day's wage. And people hop in the truck, and they don't hop in the truck, but they go with the farmer to the field and they work a full day. Then he goes at the third hour of the day, and same thing. People follow him, start working, and then he does it again and again and again. And so at the very end, the people who work only 1 hour, he calls up first and gives them a full day's wage.
Mm.
And so then people in the back of the line who started at, say, 9 a.m., they're like, oh, man, I'm going to get a payday, right? And everybody comes through the line, and they all get paid a day's wage, even though the last group only worked, say, an hour or 3 hours. I don't know the exact timing, but they worked very minimal but got the same wage as the people who worked the full day. And the people who worked the full day got upset. And it's like the story, Jesus, like, you can't be upset because you agreed to this. Am I unfair? Because I told you I'm going to give you a day's wage and you worked a full day and I'm giving you a day's wage. Who are you to tell me that I can't bless somebody else for working an hour and giving them a full day? But you agreed to this. And it's
Bro,
the same. I think it's the same in business. Like, hey, I agreed to this discounted rate. I agreed to this free rate. And I've got to hold my word, and I can't be upset because I agreed to these terms and conditions. And so I've got a lot of friends in the church, the church music, the church worship realm, and there's this huge controversy: should you pay musicians? Should you pay singers for worship? And again, it's the same thing. I'm like, hey, like, if you agreed to play the drums for X amount per service, or you agreed to volunteer to play the drums for X amount, and you find out somebody else is getting paid twice as much, 3 times as much, or getting paid at all, and you get upset, like, I'm sorry, bro, but that's on you because you agreed to those terms and conditions. Whether or not those were presented to you, I don't know, but that to me is a big thing for my business. Is like, okay, if I agree to it, I can't be upset.
absolutely. If I'm being honest, I'm currently in that position with a client. I'm not going to say who, but that's my fault. I committed to it. My mindset's this, right? Finish strong. As uncomfortable as much as sometimes I'm like, man, it's not really paying. This was a contract from a year ago, 2 years ago when I was in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all to say is I committed to it. So why would I be upset? And
Mm-hmm.
dude, I'm there. I'm present. Just that's the thing about me. That's why I love this so much that sometimes I can't differentiate if I'm doing this for free because, I just love it, or am I just doing it for free because I'm pleasing or I'm wanting to people please.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Right.
from what you said, something that just comes to mind is, I did ministry a little bit for some time, or full-time ministry, right? Or in
Mm-hmm.
this creative space, I think ministry is full-time no matter what you do. We know this conversation. Pastors
Yep.
talk about this all the time, right? Ministry is full-time. But when you are getting paid, during ministry, I think that had always been a struggle bus for me because it
Mm-hmm.
felt uncomfortable. It felt, I think part of it was insecurities, but also not truly learning that everything has a reward, regardless if you're doing it
Mm-hmm.
for free. And you have to learn how to accept that. And there's value too. Let's talk about that as well. Service to
Mm-hmm.
service, right? Do you think
Yeah.
service to service is crucial? Do you think we shouldn't do that? Are we growing? Because no one's getting
No,
paid.
I love that. Yeah, I love that when you barter services. So, especially in the creative field, it's easy to do that. It's easy to trade, a set of photos or a set of reels or a set of ads or whatever it may be, videos for the website for in exchange of a specific service or product that another company has to offer. So, for example, when we moved into our house in Georgia, this was years and years ago, we had it was a new home spec builder home, and it had like just really it wasn't bad landscaping, but it wasn't us. And so we heard of somebody who had this little tree farm, and I was like, hey man, can we like do a service swap? Would you mind? Could I provide you some videos and you come in and redo our landscaping? That way we're proud of our home, and you can also showcase what you do because you don't have any marketing materials. And so he's like, yeah, absolutely. And funny enough, it's just like you put I put my heart and soul into that project as I should with every project. And when I did that, he came back and said, "Oh man, how'd you do that one animation? I liked how that came on. I liked how this the landscaping kind of swiped on like watercolor. That was really cool. I like that effect. And hey, let's do some more work type things. And so, one like he was really happy with the product he received, and we were really happy with the product that we received.
Hmm.
And so, a lot of times with these service to service or bartering services, sometimes one side could get the short end of the stick. Other times, it's kind of give or take, and that has to deal a lot with kind of how you structure it and how much value you put behind. Okay, say this video is X amount of dollars. Okay, this service is X amount of dollars, and you could kind of match it like that. And just trusting the other partner to hold their end of the deal. But I think that is a huge way to get done what you need to get done, whether it's around the house, whether it's something with the car. It's just like we've all been in tough situations, right? And life happens, life be lifing,
Life be
and
life.
a new set of tires for your car or whatever it may be, a new transmission. I don't know, but that's something that's always an option. Instead of paying cash coming out of your bank account, you could say, "Hey, I can trade my services, which is my time, for this certain service." And in my experience, doing that has overall been good. I've had some times where I've been burned, but it hasn't been like anything crazy. But yeah, it's been a really good experience for me. But have you ever bartered services like that?
Bro, I love that. I currently, actually, my shout out to Luke Moore. If you're watching this, I probably don't
Hmm.
think you're watching this, but if you're watching this, bro, just letting you know, yeah, he's my fitness coach. I don't even like to. I don't think he likes to be called coach. But point is, yeah, we do service to service here and there, but also, right, being straightforward with it. We we actually set a contract because it's a month to month thing. However, on top of that, he's cool with me talking about this, and some months vary, right? There's bigger projects that maybe the fitness may not cover the same, right? So there's a different cost. Like you said, being able to match that service to service and not being resentful, right? If you feel, for example, man, I feel like I'm doing a little bit more than all he has to tell me is how to lift weights and I gotta go home and edit. But
Yep.
you know what it's doing for me? It's adding value to my physicality. I'm able to create better, right? I'm able to actually run and gun better. But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of value in it. There was something else too, right? It's important to set boundaries. You know,
100%.
you got to also learn when it's time to say no, because I'll put it like this: there was a time where I still do it every now and then, but I used to bring my camera everywhere. I was that guy. And I mean, it was a never ending thing, right? But I did that to myself. And then I started becoming a little bit resentful, even just with family, because I would show up to the family gatherings and it was like, hey, take a photo, una foto aquí, you know? I have a Hispanic Mexican family. But anyways, you know, what that did, right? Every time I showed up, I was a camera guy. But I did that to myself, right? There was no clarity there. There was just, they expected that because that's what I did. And
Right.
I think it's important, like I said, is being honest with yourself, really checking your heart posture. Like, why do you want to do this for free? You know?
Yeah. And I could tell you this, bro, just from my personal experience being here in Tennessee. We moved here about 4 years ago. And all of my clients here can be pointed back to one or two free projects that I worked on when I first got here. My whole business is built on free clients. Now, do I work for free for those same clients? No. But what I did, again, it goes back to doing it. I know I said like subconsciously before, like it may not get your best work, and that's simply because I agreed to do something free and I didn't have the capacity to do it. Right? So that I took those free jobs with wrong motives, or there's discounted jobs with wrong motives because I didn't have the capacity. I was just doing it as a favor versus doing a free project when I had the capacity, when I had the time, the availability, and the headspace to really do a good job and actually put my everything into it. Those projects have brought me all the business that I have today. All the clients I've worked with today, I could point back to one of two videos.
1,000%.
Which is insane. Isn't that insane?
Bro. Insane. It's insane. Go ahead.
And the way that I got those free clients, one was a coffee shop, and they brought coffee to my brother-in-law's church that we were attending at the time. And I was like, hey, dude, like, I love coffee. Just moved here in town. I do some video work. Do you have, I don't know you, but I feel like we could really benefit from each other. And, can I just come by the coffee shop and just shoot a quick reel for you? And that reel had people talking. It was like, bro, who did that? Who did that for you? It's like, yada, yada, yada. And like, hey man, I saw this on your Instagram. Like, can you do something like this for my business? And
I love that.
It's also the power, like I said, of like breaking into a new niche. Whenever you work for a different company, you can borrow from their brand equity. You can borrow from their network of the people that they're connected to. So the people they're connected to watch that content. And then you never know who's watching that content, who doesn't watch your content.
Mm.
And so your content on somebody else's channel, as long as you're working with somebody who's cool and like gives you credit, right? And it's like, oh yeah, I did great on that video. It's like, right. Yeah, right. Um, as long as they can, as long as they're cool and they can point other people back to you, then that's just a whole nother world of possibilities that opens up, because you wanted, I'll speak for me, because I wanted to take a step, because I just wanted to hang out, meet another business owner and provide some kind of value to him. And now we're friends, and now we get to hang out and go grab lunch and, get some good coffee. But it's just fun. Now that coffee shop, man, it's fun every season, doing a little menu, buying some new gear for that, and just trying to push the creative boundaries. And yeah, dude, it's been a wild journey the past 4 years. And again, like it all points back to one of two videos. That was just one video. Another video was for a missions organization doing some motion graphics. And
Dude,
yeah, it's just cool because I got to work. I don't know. I'm gonna say it.
y'all don't.
I got to
Yes,
work
please do, because hold
with
up before you go. Let me tell you about
yeah.
Steven. Steven has done some phenomenal stuff. He's been all over the world. Y'all don't know what this man is capable of, and so I'm here listening because I don't hear this enough from you. And bro, the world needs to know how great you are. Like, for real, man.
No, man. I appreciate that, dude.
You done some stuff
But
with Andy Mineo. Come on, man. Start name dropping.
yeah, yeah.
You're like, nah, don't say that.
So yeah, Andy's awesome, man. Those are fun projects. Those are like, hey, my buddy's like, hey, you got 30 seconds on the phone? Turns into like a 2-hour conversation, which turns into a music video. It went from like, hey, can you remove this one dust spot on the lens, to like, hey, can you color grade? Hey, can you just edit this? Worked, and it turned out to do it like, 2 or 3 different projects with Andy, which was cool.
That's awesome.
But this other free project that I worked on was for a missions organization that I'm a part of, which is a big reason why we moved back to Tennessee. But it was for like a conference opener. And this guy by the name of John Bellion did a little cameo for us. And he didn't want any credit, but he did this for free for the missions organization. He went to his studio, paid for studio time, recorded this track for us, for a missions organization, in which I did a motion graphic video for free. And that in turn turned a lot of heads in the church world. Oh, who did that video? Oh, Kyle, who did that video for you? And then Kyle, again, is finding those good people who would say, oh yeah, that's, Steven, he's, he does this, he does that, I'd love to connect you guys. And so it's amazing whenever you find good people and you need to hitch your wagon to those good people, because believe it or not, they're hard to come by. And those ones who aren't in business for themselves, but are also looking out for the people who help them out.
Truly important, finding those good people. And I think that's challenges sometimes. Discernment is important, right? Asking questions, being able to truly get to the nitty gritty of just, hey, I'm going to call out the elephant in the room here. Like, why are we in this? But there's a thought I wanted to bring up. For someone that may be watching or listening, you may be wondering, well, I do those same things, everything that Steven's talking about. I'm putting my work out there. I'm getting to these events, and I'm not still getting anything in return. How do I continue when I'm just doing it for free? And you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think, it goes back to that heart posture. At least 100%. For me. What were you going to say?
Yeah, it's a very complex question, because you don't know what situation that person's in. Like, hey, do you have a wife and kids, or do you have a family to take care of? Because that's a world of a difference, because then you got to make money. Right? There comes a time and a point, like you just got to make money somewhere, somehow.
It'll get real quick.
But like if you're just starting out, like you got your expenses taken care of, maybe you've got a 9 to 5, you're doing this on the side. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Are you willing to put yourself out there? Are you willing to maybe look even a little bit foolish and asking questions? Are you able to hear somebody tell you no? No, I don't need that. No, I'm good. Or are you just gonna give up and say, I tried it and it didn't work? Right? This goes back to the 5-step creative framework. Are you willing to iterate? Are you willing to take that feedback from the interaction, step 4 interaction, step 5 iterate? Are you willing to take a good hard look at your edits or at your final product, whatever it may be, and say, you know what, does this work? Hey, so and so, hey, what do you think about this video? Like, is this okay? How do you feel? Are you willing to receive criticism and ask for critiques? Bro, I did this yesterday, literally yesterday. I called an old client. I said, hey, I'm not asking for business. I'm not asking to get back on track. I want to know what worked for you and what didn't work for you. How can my business serve other businesses? Because you've had the experience of working with me in the past. What can I offer that wasn't offered or maybe wasn't looked at that can be a benefit to you? And so just asking those hard questions, getting to a point like, hey, I need to know answers. And so I need to ask real people real questions. And so again, like taking a look at your work, at the free work, if you're not getting the results, if you're not getting more clients, if you're not getting people saying, oh man, this is great, or can you come do this for me? Take a look at your work and say, hey, is this worthy? Would I pay my hard-earned money for an end product that looks like this or feels like this?
Dude, I love that. You even just asking real people real questions. As a creative, we get selfish sometimes. We think only whatever we exported is great, right? We are afraid even to ask the client, like, what did you truly think about the video? Like, not the edits, not the whooshes and the sound effects, but is there something that maybe I could have done different? These are questions that I'm asking my clients because I genuinely want to grow with them. And I think there's power in that. Just being honest, take away the insecurities, really get to that root, figuring out how can I make this better or with my client? How can I add value? And dude, like I said in Think First podcasts, I go to my wife for almost every video or not almost every video. And she's honest with me, and it makes me uncomfortable because I know Britzy is the type of person that once she says something, I know it's true. Like, I just know, and I'm like, man, she has a point. And
Yep.
I love that, bro. Asking people real questions.
Yeah. Let's put a cherry on top of this,
All right.
right? Full transparency. We are working for free right now
As we speak.
as we speak. Why are we doing this podcast, right? We're not getting paid. We don't have sponsors. Our bank account's not changing, but we're doing this podcast for free.
And
Why?
I think it's just the love of it, That's my answer. I don't know your answer, Steven, but I just
Yeah.
being able to have this consistent weekly basis thing. It's so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. I have a bunch of obstacles just to get here. And being able, again, to take that mindset, I think it goes back to that. And then also I wanted to say, to finalize, we always say when we reach out, or I used to reach out to a client and I would say, or not a client because he wasn't a client, but I used to reach out to a potential client. No strings attached. I'm so-and-so, new in the area, blah, 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 blah. It's like, really, no strings attached. There's there's always strings attached. There's always something, like whether that's like you said, mutual growth, respect, value, branding, whatever that is. I think if you didn't get anything from this entire, if you made it this far, wow, it's amazing. This is
Hey,
truly,
welcome.
I want to say this has been my favorite episode so far. I don't
Oh,
know why, but it has. And on top of that,
it's been good.
you don't know this. Nobody knows this. I've been sweating the whole time. My back is drenched,
Snap. Snap.
but I love it.
Oh, snap.
But I love it.
Yes, sir.
Is there
Yeah,
anything
man, this has
else?
been, I think for me, like with this podcast, like it's just been challenging. I wanted to challenge myself. I've been so scared to create long form content. Honestly, that's why I brought you in, bro. Because I'm like, I can't do this by myself.
Dude,
I can't talk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes by myself. And so I wanted to have this conversation. And two, like, bro, like we talked about from the beginning, just us having conversations every day. It forces us to sit down, to have conversations, which we love, which we normally do anyways. But sometimes we just get so busy, days, weeks go by, we don't get to talk to each other. So it's an excuse for us to talk to each other about business, about life. And I love it, man. I love the challenge. I love the potential of where this can go. I love just the mindset of like you said, like it's weekly. Every week it happens, and every week it has to be edited and distributed. And I love that. I don't feel like it's a grind. I feel like we get to do this.
yeah,
It's such
it changes
such an
everything.
opportunity. Yeah. And
I don't have to
I
do
love it,
this,
man.
but I get to do this. I think that's a wrap right there, you know?
Yep. Yep. We get to do this. So, hey, as Alfredo said, if you've made it this far, welcome to the end of the roll. What we need something. We need something for people to comment at the end. What is it, Fredo?
No,
We
seriously. What is it?
I don't know.
We need to
But
come up with
welcome. You're
something.
here.
We need to come up with
Yeah.
something.
Thank you. Comment down below. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching or listening on any podcast platform, go ahead and write us a review. It really helps us. Hey, and if you like this whole setup that I've got going on here, minus like the actual room, but all the gear that's here, I got this listed in the show notes and also in the description for YouTube. You could also go to crown.one/setup, and it's yours. The gear's not yours, but the gear list is yours. You can have that as if you need some inspiration to get started. That's the biggest hurdle for so many people to start a podcast. Is like, I don't know what gear to buy. I don't know what microphone to use. I mean, this isn't even like a great podcast mic, if I'm honest, but it works. It does the job, right? We're just getting started. We just got to start somewhere. So this is where I'm starting right here with the Sennheiser mic, which is great. It does a great job, but it's no Shure SM7B that Alfredo's got with all the other podcasters. He's the legitimate podcaster here with the Shure SM7B. But for real, the list is on the website. It's in the description, in the show notes. And yeah, like I said, if you made it this far, hey, thank you for watching. Let us know. Follow us on the gram. Again, all that is linked below. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Dynamic Range, episode 6, coming your way soon. Fredo,
Peace.
love you, bro.
Much love.
Thanks for hopping on.
Échale ganas.